My name is Adequate Ibrahim. So today we'll be talking about Python for data analysis. So we are going to start from learning Python before we move to how to use Python to analyze Python package for data analysis. So today we'll be using Jupyter Notebook. This is the interface of Jupyter Notebook, whereby you can rename your worksheet from here. Just press and rename. So let me rename it to, initially it will come with untitled. So let me rename it to Python class 1. So this line, we call it line of code, and you can see that we have a code here. You can change it to markdown or raw. Let me change it to markdown, like Python data analysis. So this markdown is served as like elder when we are typing in MS Word. So let me we have a function in Python. We call it a print function to print out something. So this print, let's say print, everything is small letter. Print hello Python. So this is our first line of code. If you print out this, you can see that it comes out with hello Python. So today we want to talk about Python data type. Python data type. Python data type. So this Python data type is very essential in our data analysis. We need to know the data type of each category. So as we already know it from Excel, we need to know from also in Python. So this Python data type, we have number one, number one, we have string. Number two, we have um, numerical numbers. So we call them integers. Yes, we have integers. Number three, we have float or float decimal, any of them. Number four, we have boolean. So these are the four data type we have basically. Now let's start with string. String is like text in, like, what is your name? If you want to type anything in string format, that is string. Anything in letters is a string format. So let's start from string. A string, actually, if you want to type a string in Python, you must use double quote or single quote. Now let me give out an example here. When I say hello Python, you can see that inside the bracket I use what? I use double quote. So that is a string for us. So if I want to write a string now, I can say that I am an aspiring data analysis. So since I started with this single quote and double quote, I must end it with double quote. If I run this now, because I am an aspiring data analysis. If I copy this now, let me paste it here. Let me use single quotes. Since I start with single quote, I must end it with single quote. So if you are writing a string, you see that you start with double quote, or you see that you use double quote or you use single quote. It's must for us to use that. So to check, maybe which type of quote is this? Which type of data type is this? We have a function called type, a function called type. So we now put it in brackets. Let me close the bracket. So this is the what? I've opened the bracket and I've closed the bracket. If you run this now, we have what? We have a string. So this is how we check a data type. This is how we check a data type we have. Is either a string or a quote? You can see that str means string. Now, again, we have integer. Integer in mathematics is just like a number, 1, 2, 3. We already know a number in mathematics. It's the same thing here again, integer. So integer, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The whole numbers, they are what they call integers. Now let's check how we will type them in Python. Let me run this. So integers. To know if I type 2, so you can see that it prints out 2 for me. In integer, we don't need to put single or double quotes. It's just a normal number. If you just write a number, it will read this as an integer. That's why if you put double or single quote in a number, it will read it as a string, not an integer. So let's check. If I say that double quote 23, so let me open the bracket and close it so that we check. You can see that it read it as a string because I put double quotes in front of it. I put the number in double quotes. It read it as a string. So we use, in case whereby we use integers as a string, is like when we are writing ID numbers, like unique numbers, ID numbers. So ID numbers is a string, not an integer. We cannot do any analysis on it. We cannot add them. We cannot subtract them. So we read it as a string. So that's why anything we put on double or single quotes, Python will read it as a string, not an integer. Now let's check. We have type 34. So 34 is an integer. So you can see that it treats it as what? As an integer. The next one, we have floats. Float decimal. Float is decimal number. Any number in decimal. They write 4.5. 4.5. If I run it, we have for 4.5. Let's check the type. 4 points. So this is what this is a float. You can see that it is a float. The last one, but not the least, we have a boolean. A boolean is a true or false statement. If I type true with the capital letter, with the first letter T to be in capital format, we can see that it's give out true. Let's check the type. Let's check the type now. If you run this, it give us what? It give us boolean. But if I just type, I use the first letter to be a small number, so it will give me an error. So you see, true is not defined because when I write this first letter to be a small letter, it read it as a string, but I don't put it in double or single quote. That's why it give me this. But assuming the capital letter the first letter is in capital format, it will read it as what? As a boolean. Let me change it to capital letter T, so it will give me as a boolean. Likewise, false. False also is a boolean. So if I say type false, so it will read it as a boolean. So thank you. See you in the next class.